Okay, so this is where I ended, I think, before the power interruption. So I apologize for that. So we're discussing the periods of development, and I think I made mention about prenatal stage. So I will be sending you a link of a video on prenatal stage, no? So you could watch, no, and look into the different changes, especially, which takes place or which occur in this stage. So you just have to remind yourselves of the three stages, which are the composition, or which composes rather the prenatal stage, no? So nabanggit ko yung ovum or zygote, no? So the resulting cell of the resulting cell of the union of the sperm cell and the egg cell, and is called the zygote, or or ovum. Okay? Um the zygotic, or the period of the ovum, is from fertilization to 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks after pregnancy, or after fertilization rather. The first 2 weeks of pregnancy, or the first 2 weeks from fertilization. That's the period of the ovum. The period of the embryo is from the end of the second week to the end of the second month. So 2 weeks to 2 months. No? So among the three stages, it's the period of the embryo, or the embryonic stage, which is the most risky, no? Because this is where birth defects and physical defects, no, and even abortion, no, may take place, no. Why? Because yung period of the embryo kasi, this marks the beginning of the journey of the zygote to the fallopian tube. So pagka-fertilize kasi, nandun yung egg cell, o nandun yung zygote rather sa fallopian tube. Mag-stay siya dun ng 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, bababa siya, mag-i-implant siya sa fallopian tube. So, pagkababa, yun na yung start ng embryonic stage. Okay? So, makikita nyo yan doon sa video na isisend ko sa inyo. And the period of the fetus would be from the end of the second month to birth. Okay? And then pagkapanganak, we have infancy and babyhood. The first 2 weeks after birth, that's infancy. And then the 2 weeks to 2 years, that's babyhood. Okay? So nandyan naman, infancy and babyhood. So what takes place during the infancy would be more of the period of adjustment. No? So the infant had to adjust from an internal environment to an external one, from an internal temperature to an external temperature. The infant also has to adjust or adapt in terms of the functioning of his organs, no? So sa loob kasi hindi pa ganoon ka mature yung organs of the body, especially yung excretory, no? Digestive, no? Um, as compared when the baby has to do it on his own, no? So outside the womb, of course, of the mother. Pati sa respiration, no? Pati sa ingestion of food, kasi nabanggit ko kanina na sa loob ang kanyang mode of nourishment is through the umbilical cord. Okay? Then we also have um your early childhood, no, from 2 to 6, and the middle to late childhood from 6 to 11. Okay? So the early childhood stage is characterized by the play, it's a play age, it's a toy age, sabi nga nila, no? Bakit? Of course, the world of the child is play. No? At hayaan nyo sila because that is where they learn. And that is actually how they interact to um, external factors. No? So that's where they learn actually. Okay? Ano pa, 6 to 11, it's the school years, no? It's a school age. Preschool years naman ang early childhood, school years naman ang middle to late childhood. Meron pa ring play, pero hindi na kasing, oh yeah, meron pa ring play actually sa childhood, late childhood, no? Siguro iba, hindi naman sa iba. More on more on school activities kasi yan eh, no? So, play that has to do with school activities, no? So, meron tayong mga PE, meron tayong mga ano nun, di ba? So, mas maintindihan ninyo ang stages na to pag na ano natin yung developmental task kasi yung mga skills at mga tasks na kaya nilang gawin at this particular stage. Okay? And then we also have adolescence, no? What precedes adolescence is the puberty years, no? So 11 to 12, although pre-adolescent years na rin kasi ang puberty, no? So puberty is characterized by the different physical changes. Ayan, no, puberty. Nandiyan naman yan. Okay, and then adolescent stage. Okay, so at adolescent, during adolescence where you come to establish your identity. We will look into that as we discuss Erickson's psychosocial stages of development. And then early adulthood, dyan tayo patungo. Ano ba yung mga preoccupations ng adulthood? Malalaman niyo sa developmental tasks. It's more of establishing a family and a career. Okay? Then middle age, this is where you pick in terms of your career, no? Where you um have leadership positions. Most of the CEOs, most of the deans are in their middle adulthood stage. And then old age or senescence, that would be from the age of retirement to old age or death. Okay? So, ayan. Okay. So, tingnan natin yan. Now, these are the different developmental tasks. And while you may benefit from letting this be explained, no, I suppose enacting it or thinking of how you could creatively present it to class would be more would be uh, para you would be more likely engaged, no? Be engaged, no, in the understanding of this topic if you are to do that. So, yeah, early childhood. I will be grouping you later, or I will be asking you to be grouped, no, as per the different what do you call this, developmental tasks. So, briefly lang siguro, during early childhood, these are the different tasks. Ano ba ang mahirap intindihin dyan? Learning sex differences and sexual modesty. So, it is during this age where we actually learn that you have a pepet if you are a girl, no? Or you have a buto if you're a if you're a male, no? So the differences not only as to the sex organs but also in terms of the uh, roles, no? Sex roles, gender roles. Sabi nga nila, sex roles, no? So ang mga babae ang nagbubuntis, no? Although pagdating sa pag-alaga ng bata, it's a gender role. It's both male and females that has the responsibility, no? Okay, that have the responsibility. Forming concepts and learning language, no, to describe social and physical reality, no? So it's during this remember that one of the characteristics of children at early childhood stage is that they are fond of questioning. It's an age where children are usually asking questions. So when they ask questions, no, you have to what? Somewhat respond to them um, in a manner that might not uh, raise confusion later. No? So I think ang isa sa example ko dyan is when they ask about their body parts, particularly the sex organs. No? So you have to actually respond to them in a manner na kailangan talagang malaman nila yung proper term. Okay? And siguro in a way you explain it to them um, um, in a manner that they could understand at their age. Okay? Middle childhood, ano ba ang medyo hindi niya maintindihan dito? Okay? Developing conscience, learning the concept of right and wrong. So dito natin nasimulang ini-imbibe sa kanila, no? Values development, no? So um, kapag ang deeds natin, ang ginawa natin ay tama, we are appreciated, no? We are recognized. Kapag mali, we are being punished. Di ba yun yung conditioning sa bata, no? So, fundamental skills, ayan. So, and then, adolescence, ano ba ang hindi masyadong naintindihan? Masculine and feminine social role, I'm sure you know what it meant by that, no? So in terms of what the society expects unto us based on our genders, no? Socially responsible, okay. Developing an ideology. In fact, adolescents are very idealistic, no? That probably accounts why in terms of the age groups, mas madaling um, sa pagiging idealistic nila, maraming mga adolescents ang very, ano ba yung term nyo? Ang tawag dyan. Some are, not actually some, majority perhaps are joining the leftists. Oh, ano yung leftist, ma'am? Those who raise arm against the government, no? So mga party list na medyo makakabataan pero uh, arm ng NPA, mga ganon, no? So anyway, so early adulthood, ayan. You will be presenting this na lang in class through a presentation. Okay? And then approaches to human development. So we have two, traditional and the lifespan approach, no? So it's an approach, traditional approach is an approach that emphasizes extensive change from birth to adolescence, okay? With little or no change in adulthood and decline in old age. So if we are to look into the changes, it seems that the changes would peak in adolescence. No? From the changes are huge or many during the prenatal and infancy stage, and then eventually um, uh, during adolescent years, but it declines, no? Because again we go back into maturation, di ba? We stop at the age of maturation, usually at adolescent stage. Okay? So these changes are declining in old age, no? That's the traditional approach. Okay? While the lifespan approach from the term itself, lifespan, so across the lifespan, irrespective of whether you've reached adulthood or old age, there would still be what? Changes, or there would still be development. There is still a possibility for learning, no, even until old age. Okay? So in this context, we adhere to the lifespan approach. Okay? So the lifespan approach gives us the following principles that development is lifelong. I think we made mention about development being a continuous process from womb to tomb. Okay? Development being multidimensional. So we focus not only on the physical but to the other domains of development as well. And development as plastic, a key developmental research agenda is the search for plasticity, no, and its constraint. What is plasticity? It means the capacity for change. So brain plasticity, for example, no? So what it only meant is that when it comes to our intellectual skills, no, it can still be improved. Although there are researches which would say that um, intellect is inherited and there's less that we can do about it. But um as to the plasticity of development, no, as to this principle, no, intellectual skills can still be improved, no. So meaning to say we can still do something, no, particularly through learning or through education. Okay, and this could be evidenced by adult learners, no, old age who are still going to school. 'Di ba may mga ano tayo diyan, may mga old age na nasa ALS, 'no? May mga old age pa rin na nag, nag-e-exam, nagba-bar exam and all. So, it just proves that development is something that is plastic. And we also have development as contextual. No, it says here that the individual continually responds to and acts on context. So irrespective of our biological makeup and the environment where we were raised, no, all of these factors are actually working hand in hand as we respond to stimulation around us. Okay? So it is in relation to our capacity for change, no? Meaning to say, we are considered as changing beings in a changing world. Okay? So we evolve, no? And then development also involves growth, maintenance, and regulation. Okay, so it says here that as we age, there is maintenance and regulation of our capacities. Thus, for many individuals, the goal is not to seek growth in intellectual capacities or physical capacities, but to maintain the skills, no? Or to minimize the deterioration of the skills. Okay? Ayan. So, naulit lang ito. Ayan. So, I think that is where it ends. Although, the last slide has to do with research. No? Pedagogy, development and pedagogy, the role of theory and research. Okay? So, later on, you will have your research subject. No? You might want to venture on research along development, particularly perhaps on how it could on its implications to education. Okay, so these are concepts, no, in developmental research. Okay, validity, reliability. So when you make use of certain tools or measures, assessment tools, no, validity simply means simply looks into how the tool would accurately assess what you wanted to assess or what you wanted to measure. No? Like say for example, if you are measuring IQ, no, then is the IQ test valid? That means, is the IQ test accurate? No, does the IQ test accurately measure intellectual quotient? No? So, in any standardized test, IQ test, for example, there are what we call psychometric properties. No, so we have IQ, we have validity and reliability, and the validity index and reliability index usually are included in the test. No, makikita ninyo doon kung ano yung kanyang Cronbach alpha. No, so reliability, the trustworthiness of a research finding. No, and this includes the inter-observer reliability and replicability. No? So how um, um, how could you generalize, no? Or how possible that it could be replicated, no? That your findings could be replicated, no? So whether, of course, again, you go back onto your uh, data gathering instrument, whether your instrument is reliable or not. Okay? So the same behavior seen by one observer is also seen by second observer. So inter-observer reliability means that there is consistency. No? So that when certain behavior is observed by one observer, the same observation or the same information would be observed, or the second observer would be able to establish the same information as that of the first observer. Okay? So, ayan. Hindi naman natin ito masyadong pakikialaman, no? Kasi what we just wanted here is that you might wish to venture into developmental to researches in developmental psychology later. And these are the very variables or concepts that you have to understand. Okay? You will appreciate this later in your research subject. Okay? So I think we need not to what do you call this, dig more on these concepts. Although, ayan, ano ba yung mga nandyan? So, siguro ano lang, briefly lang. So, itong methods, data gathering methods, pwede kang mag-interview, okay? Pwedeng gumamit ka ng structured or ng clinical interview, okay? Pero syempre, you have to um, uh, possess certain eligibilities. No? Dapat well-versed ka rin. No? Hindi ka pwedeng basta-bastang mag-clinical interview, for instance, no? Kung hindi ka um, um, aligned, no? Sa method na ito, no? So, um, what we just wanted to understand here is that there are methods which you could use to gather data. Okay? And in gathering these data, you might wish to use interview. So, kaya structured man yan, kaya clinical man yan, or you might wish to also use questionnaire and standardized test. No? Usually ito yung ginagawa natin, or observation or case study, no? So usually mga ginagawa ng mga psychologists, okay? Developmental psychologists, no? Case study, okay? And then they look into the daily notes or diaries of the participant usually, no? Yung tawag dun sa respondents ng isang case study. Okay? And then, when you do research, no, there are ethical standards, no, na kailangan ninyong i-consider. No? So, yung principle of do no harm. Okay? Kaya nga merong informed consent. No? Kailangan yung respondents ay sumasang-ayon siya na kukuhanan mo siya ng information, no? At gagamitin mo yung information na yan for research purposes. Okay? Kung bata ang respondent mo, kailangan hingan mo ng informed consent yung parent or yung legal guardian ng bata. Okay? At i-inform mo siya, i-inform mo yung bata sa mga possible na harm at effects ng um, procedure mo of gathering the data. Okay? But definitely, there must be, you must adhere to the principle of do no harm. Okay? And then yan, parental consent, okay? In case there are additional people to whom, in case there are people to whom you would ask consent, no, like the school teacher, then you have to obtain the same. Okay? Ano pa? So, confidentiality, no? Consequences in case there would be unforeseen consequences. Ang point lang dyan ay that you are always accountable being the researcher. Okay? Ano pa? Jeopardy. No? So in case the research would jeopardize the well-being of the child participant or respondent. Okay, and in relation to this, we also have the Data Privacy Act, no? So, ngayon, pag nag-research kayo, kaya in developmental psychology man yan o hindi, kailangan laging in relation, kailangan laging sinasaalang-alang nyo ang Data Privacy Act, no? So, hindi kayo pwedeng basta-bastang humingi ng information. Kapag meron kayong information na nahingi, hindi nyo basta-bastang gamitin ito sa ibang purpose, except for the purpose that it is intended, no? So kung for research yan, then it has to be for research na. Okay? So I think that is where it ends, no? So we will be processing your questions relative to this topic during the face-to-face. Okay? So with that, thank you and good day. Okay? So